Hello everybody and welcome back to a new week of Out of the Park Baseball 21 Perfect Team. Now I'm quite a few days late this week, so we're already halfway through the next season, but what I thought I'd do today is let's run through how we went last season. We'll take a quick look on how we're progressing this particular season, and then I'm going to open a few packs just for a laugh. So let's take a look. We're in 2024 right now, but as you can probably already figured out, we have not been promoted. We ended up with a record of 73 and 89, a 451 average right there for the team, winning percentage I should say. And so it wasn't really great. One thing I would point out though is that last season was definitely the most even season that I've played in so far. So things are starting to even themselves out a bit. There was only one team that achieved over 100 wins last season. They actually got 127 wins, which is insane. It's obviously a pretty strong team. But the rest of the teams under 100, so it's definitely a lot more even across the board. So what I'll do is let's take a look at our batters from last season. Okay, here we are, and I have sorted them by WAR, and so our top performer, Jose Ramirez, and I'm probably just going to go straight out right now and say he's probably our MVP from this season 2023. But if we take a look through his stat line, 267 average, which is not unbelievable, but certainly with that 365 on-base percentage, OPS 834, OPS plus 124, that's some nice numbers right there. He did have 36 stolen bases, more stolen bases than everyone else combined. And what else did he have right here? 20 home runs, that's a solid number. 87 RBIs, that doesn't blow me away. 39 double baggers, 6 triples, and 147 hits. So some parts of that stat line are pretty strong and other parts are just so-so. If we go through the categories and look at our team leaders for last year, hits, Jeff McNeil, 194 hits. Now that's a nice number. And in terms of two baggers, he managed to edge out Ramirez by just one double. Get it right, Mace. One double. So 40 for Jeff. 39 for Jose Ramirez, and Didi Gregorius, he's in there too at 38, so pretty tight competition there. And Jose Ramirez leading us for 666, and then Anthony Rizzo, who has actually been a little bit quiet over the last few seasons. Home runs, we've got Tony Congalero. I pronounced that completely incorrectly, so apologies there, but 26 home runs, 24, and then 24 to Jeff, and then 24 to Greg. Now, really, we're not hitting a lot of home runs either, but that was reflected in our result. As you saw, our winning percentage wasn't great, so that's sort of reflected in some of these numbers. 87 RBIs for Jose, as we said before, and then it's a bit of a drop down to Jeff McNeil and Tony in 68. So, yeah, some of those figures aren't really unbelievable at all. If we take a look at an average, I know it's not really the greatest measure, but Jeff McNeil coming in at 289, which is definitely respectable, along with Greg Walker just a couple of points behind him there on 287. On base percentage, Jose Ramirez well ahead there, followed by one of our reserve players, rostered players, 341 for Mike Bordick. So there we go. There goes our offense. Not really doing an amazing job. If I go back to sorting them by WAR, as you can see, you've got Jose at 4x4, then Jeff at 3.5, and then really it's dropping down. Tom 2.7 is respectable, but then it really sort of fizzles out right down there. Yeah, and Anthony Rizzo and Giancarlo Stanton, under 1. That's just not a good look whatsoever. So I definitely do need to strengthen my team, though. I'm not going to punch in a lot of money at the moment to try to bolster this team. And that's why I'm going to open some packs in a minute, just using some of these perfect points. And that's not the best way, by the way, but it's probably my best chance of getting a really, really good player, because to go and buy them, I'm going to have to put money into the game or wait heaps of weeks for my perfect points to add up. So let's go and take a look at the pitching. Okay, here we are in amongst our pitchers right here, and Steven Strasburg performed pretty well with a WAR of 3.9, closely followed by Charlie Morton, who is he's a gold player. Get on. There we go, 87 overall. Steven Strasburg is 96 overall. So, yeah, Charlie Morton definitely holding his own at 3.5 WAR. A couple of good performers in there. Papelbon once again at the back of the back of the bullpen there, closing out with a 2.87 ERA, FIP of 2.72, a really nice result there. So if we take a look at some of the performers, so Strasbourg obviously leading the way. Let's take a look at his stat line. So a whip of 1.29, which is right on the average mark. Home runs per 9 is better than average. Base on balls per 9 is a little bit high. I prefer it to be under 3. Ks per 9, 8.8. That's nice and solid. That's in the above average sort of mark, but ERA plus of just 91, so that's nothing unbelievable. So if we take a look at some of the top performers in the different categories, in terms of Ks, Strasbourg 213, followed by Charlie Morton there on 207. If we look at wins, I mean, I know wins isn't really the greatest measure given that the offense weren't that great, but 13 for Charlie Morton, followed by Clayton Kershaw with 11. FIP, so this is fielding independent pitching, so you take away the luck or poor fielding, and we're looking at Jonathan Papelbon there, 2.72. So all our rotation there, so I keep calling them rotation, our bullpen providing the best FIP right there, and a couple of our starters there not going absolutely brilliant at all. From a whip point of view, let's just sort those out. So Liam Hendricks there, he's actually in the setup position this year, whip of 0.96, and then Jonathan Papelbon. But then the starters, you got guys like Strasbourg there at 129, and then we're starting to get into the average territory right there. So yeah, all in all, pitching was, look, it was adequate, not amazing, but looking for probably a better performance this season. So let's go and check out this season for a quick update on our progress. Okay, everybody, here we are in the current standings, and the good news is we're having a much stronger season this year. We're 5 games ahead of 500 at 49 and 44. We are 6.5 games behind the division leader, but certainly, you know, we're in that fight for the wild card, so that's a much better position than we have been in the last couple of seasons. If we go to the promotion and relegation standings at the moment, because we're just outside that the playoffs, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 teams being promoted, so I need to up my game just a little bit, but as we can see, just not far at all outside that automatic promotion and relegation area. So hopefully with a good, where are we? We're sort of right in the middle of the season, July 12th. So with a good back half of the season, you know, hopefully we can get ourselves up there into a good position. So let's go and check out our offenses so far this year. On base percentage, good old Dusty Rhodes, 383. We've got some actually much better looking numbers here just straight off the bat, with 380 for Tom Haller, 361 for all our backup players. Then Rizzo looks like he's having a much better season. Home runs, who's hitting them? Coniglio, 17. I think, what was it, 26 last year was the leader, something like that, or so. Already 17 by Tony. Jose Ramirez chipping in right there with 15. So much better numbers there. If we take a look at our OPS plus, a lot more in the hundreds, which is where we want to be. Looking good. And War obviously early in this, only halfway through the season, but Tom Haller coming in there, the catcher, 3.5. Jose Ramirez, Sam West, so some of these other players going okay. It looks like probably Jose Ramirez again with some the most stolen bases, though some other players are chipping in a little bit better this year, that's for sure. What other stat can we look at here? RBIs, who's leading? Jose Ramirez once again, 58, 54. What I might need to do is just take a look at the balance of my lineup and maybe make just a few changes. We'll have a look at that in a minute, depending if we pull any decent cards with our pack opening. If we go over to our pitching, what's happening here? If we just take a quick look at the stat lines down around here for our pitchers, you know, some of them with pretty average ERAs. Is FIP telling the same story? Not quite. It looks like our fielding isn't really up to it, and that has been an issue with this team during the season. So that's something we're going to need to work on. But if we look at whip here, and here we go, we're looking much better here, although these are our back end of our bullpen right here, performing pretty well. But Clayton Kershaw having a much better season. ERA is 4.5, so that's not amazing. And FIP of 4.09, so still not amazing. But he has got a WAR of 2.1, 1.2 home runs per 9, that's about average. Base on balls is slightly better than average. Ks per 9, about average. So all the stat line says he's going average, but compared to some of the other seasons he's been having, I will take that at this point. So there we go, just a little bit of an overview there. So I've got, 7,000, I was going to call them stubs, perfect points right here. So let's go and rip some packs. Okay, first pack, here we go. And we're no doubt going to get quite a few average cards here. The reason I'm going with packs is because to buy like a 100 rated player or a high 90s player, just totally, you're going to have to put some money into it. At least this way, even though it's a very small chance, there is a chance of ripping a really good player. So I'm going with the RNG, the random number generator, or luck in other words, to try to get an amazing player. So let's hope that can happen. Pack number 2, and no doubt we're gonna have a lot of bronzes and low rated players, but just need that one real amazing player. Cool. Not a great pack. Let's move on to the next pack. Okay, into our third pack here. Oh, and what do we got here? Oh, we've got a silver. Okay, Dave Brown. It's not going to be a starter for me, unfortunately. And that was it. Okay, a little bit underwhelming at this point. Okay, pack number 4 coming down the chute. Oh, these iron players. To be expected. Just looking for that big bomb. Come on. Oh, wow. That is average. Let's move on to the next pack. Okay. What do we got here? Are they going to treat us? Don't hold your breath, is what I would say. Oh, man. They're really slamming down these average cards, that's for sure. Another silver. Wow. Not great at all. Just 2 packs remaining. Will they be able to give us something? Starting off with a silver, okay. Oh, here we go. What do we got? Okay, Shane Bieber, right-hand starter for the Indians. How do we see his, I think we see his stats at the end here. So we'll go through this pack. Okay, that's nice. That is nice. I will take that for sure. We will definitely take a diamond starter. And when it comes up, hopefully we'll be able to see his stats. I think you can get a stat line right here. Okay, stuff is 70, movement 55, contact 75, stamina 65. Okay, so decent-ish. Not blowing me away. But, hey, we are happy to get a diamond. You little beauty. All right, let's get on to the next pack. Okay, the lucky last pack. Will they give us 2 decent players? It doesn't look like it. Okay, lucky last card. Okay, there we are. 7 packs down. We did get 1 diamond, so I'm going to go and see how he'll fit into our team. But I want to say, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button down below. And until next week, everybody, take it easy.